All right, welcome back to tonight's stream. The color is a little off. Okay, now I look a little good. But tonight we're going to get into, will you lose money if you bought or buy a Tesla, like driving it right off the lot? And the backstory on that is, when you used to buy cars in the past, you would lose money right off the bat. Like, I don't know what percentage, but we're gonna dive into that. And really, like, that used to be the thing. So, and for a while, I would say a good while, for the past couple of years during COVID and the pandemic, you could buy a Tesla, get that really low price in, and then you would be able to flip it and not lose any money. But now we're going to explore today, like, if you had an order in at today's current prices and you took delivery and drove it right off the lot, would you actually lose money, or would you still be able to profit at today's current prices? We got some resources on it, which we'll go into on my current places that I love to sell cars to. And we can even probably show a screenshot. I have an interesting screenshot when a viewer reached out to me. They wanted to sell a car, and I have really good experiences with this one auto group in LA. So I sold my most recent car to them. And so I passed along the information, and they kind of responded to him pretty interestingly about the current market and how they are just not buying Teslas. So welcome back to the stream, everybody. Welcome back to tonight's video. We're going to get into the typical depreciation of vehicles, what it used to be before the pandemic. We'll briefly talk about that. Then we'll get into how much a new Tesla is with taxes at current prices, whether it's a Model 3, a Model Y, a Model S, or a Model X. We'll price that out with, maybe we'll just do sales price and then just do the taxes. We'll probably take an average, because like some places are a lot higher taxes than other states, and some states don't even have any tax on EVs at all. So that's super crazy. And then we'll go into, after you took delivery of this hypothetical Tesla and your out the door price, what happens if you needed to sell it? And we'll use my one wholesaler that's really good, that I recommend a lot, to see if you would lose money, would you make money, or would you just lose a little bit, or would you be able to drive it for a little bit and then make some money as well? And of course, a Q&A throughout it, Q&A in the end. You can ask any questions on buying, selling, or even financing a Tesla. Welcome back, Daniel Blue. But today's stream is sponsored by my Calendly link. If you have any questions on buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla, you can schedule a call with me down below in the description through my Calendly link. It's a 15-minute call where we can talk about anything that you have regarding Tesla. If you need some tips on where to get the good financing and anything like that. And at the end of it, or before the call even starts, or after you pay, you'll get a link to my buying guide, which has my buying and selling resource guide, which has all the links to everything that I've used to get the best deal, and of course the best financing, or even where to sell it at a good rate too. But please like and subscribe if you're enjoying this so far, if you're liking these daily video streams on the Tesla market. But let's get into it. So in the past, for your youngsters, including myself maybe, before the past 3 years of the market, you would lose money if you bought a car and then drove it off the lot and sell it. If you try to sell it immediately, and you lose money because there's taxes, whether it's 6%, 5%, all the way up to, I think it's 9% in some LA areas or California areas. So you'd lose money. You'd lose 10%, maybe even 15% of the value right when you drove it off the lot. And so this article I found from carsdirect.com used to say that a quick rule of thumb, quote, as a quick rule of thumb, a car will lose 15 to 20% of its value each year, actually according to Bankrate, not according to cars.com. And so you would basically, by the second year, you would lose the car would be worth 80% or 20% less of its value after that second year. So 10% about after you drove it off the lot, and then down to 80% after that. So super crazy stuff, of course. But what really happened in this past couple years with any car, as long as you didn't pay markup on a brand new car, you would probably be in a good position where you could sell it immediately the next month, or even a few months after, and still make money, or even drive it for free and then break even. So this is what kind of gave me this idea, like, well, what if we built out one model from each and every Tesla variant and kind of price it out? We won't go too crazy. We'll kind of build it how I would build it. Then we'll put the prices of what price that we had it at for our build. Estimated out the door, we'll probably take an average of like 7% because I think that's like a nationwide average. Put out the door 7% with taxes and all that stuff. And then we would go to my favorite wholesaler at this moment, where they usually pretty much buy any car, and I've had good experiences with them, and I've also recommended to my viewers and friends to sell to them too. Great experiences so far. That's a very smooth transaction. If we put in each vehicle in here, would you make profit or would you lose money right off the bat, and how much money would you lose right off the bat? So let's get into it. First one's a Model 3, super easy. Let's just do a custom order. Of course, you can't necessarily get a Model 3 long range immediately because they kind of took it away till next year because they're trying to figure out the tax rate. But that's fine. Let's just go with the cheapest Model 3 short range at $46,990. We'll just go base. So no special wheels, nothing, no crazy interior, no full self-driving, of course, because I'm very against that, in my opinion. No wall connectors, nothing like that. So a Model 3 base price of $46,990. The one thing you got to keep in mind with Tesla is they don't include the destination fee right off the bat. So it's actually on the second screen. And also there's that $250 order fee. So $48,440 as our sale price. And we'll just use quick math of 7%. That's what we said, right? So times 1.07%. Out the door on a Model 3 would be 52 and some change. If you got a base one today, let's see if I can make this a little bigger. If you got a base one today, your out the door would be $52,000 for a Model 3 with no free charging. You got the supercharger network where you got to pay for. You get 30 days of premium connectivity trial. I remember that used to be like a full year, and that's really when it was worth it. Okay, so let's take a look at this, okay? A $52,000 Model 3. You just took delivery today at this new price. You're happy as heck. I mean, I would be too if I had a Model 3 again. Driving off the lot, but now something happened. You have to sell it. So let's go ahead and put in a 2022 Tesla Model 3 into Car Buyer USA, which is a great wholesaler. I've had really good experiences with them. Let's see, this is a rear-wheel drive, which is pretty much that's all you would need unless you're in like a winter area. Current mileage, let's just keep it at 500 miles. California, we're going to keep it at California because that's the hottest Tesla market, I would say, arguably in the United States. So keep it at California. We don't need to click anything else. Let's take a look. 49,676. 49,676. So right off the bat, if you had to drive this and buy this car, of course, that's 7% sales tax. Let's make sure we note this, 7%. Sales tax, can't type today, then you would lose some money. I mean, you're not going to lose 10%, which is not that bad, but you're going to lose some money. So if you had to sell it for $49,767, you're going to lose $2,000 right off the bat. And of course, I'm not advocating for like flipping or anything like that. This is really just a PSA because I feel like people have heard for the past 6 months to a year that, oh, you can just buy a Tesla, you'll be able to flip it, no worries, you'll make profit, you should just take delivery. But you got to be careful. You have to be careful in some spots. You're not going to make money every single time. So you got to be careful with some of these with purchase prices that you're at. Now, of course, if you have an old purchase price, do the math. Make sure that you're out the door with the 7% sales tax or whatever sales tax you're at. Make sure you're still within the money so that just in case something happens where you need to get rid of the car, then you can just dump it immediately to Car Buyer USA or some of these other wholesalers and still be in the money. Now, of course, it's a different story if you absolutely need the car for work, you travel for work, you have a very rigorous workday schedule every week, or you're going to monetize the car. Like, do you drive for Uber? Do you Turo the car? Do you have a plan to pay the monthly payments for the car? Of course, it's a completely different story if you have a sort of plan like that. But right off the bat, I mean, we didn't go too crazy with the Model 3. And the crazy thing with the Car Buyer USA quote, this is a base Model 3. They don't really care about options or anything like that. They're going to give you a wholesale value because they're going to buy it from you and then try and sell it to another dealer, which is then going to try and sell it to someone else. But crazy crazy values. I would say you got to be really careful. But let's move on. Let's move on. So we're gonna go to the Tesla Model Y now, which is definitely a hot car. Probably I mean, it is the most high-selling Tesla vehicle out there in terms of volume. And let's just do the Model Y long range, because if we go to the $70,000 Model Y performance, that's just absolutely insane in my opinion. But let's go Model Y long range, $66,000. Let's do the same thing. Let's go base. It looks like right now you might, if you went base color with base wheels, you might be able to get it in December, that's pretty quick. No tow hitch, black interior, 5 seats, and of course no full self-driving or autopilot. But let's get into what's our out the door price. What's the damage? So $66,000 plus the $1,200 destination fee plus the $250 fee. You're out the door before taxes at $67,440. So $67,440. We're gonna do the same 7% sales tax. Holy crap! $72,000 for a Model Y. Now you just really have to ask yourself, are you going to save that much gas over a comparable variant SUV that's about the same size? I'm not sure if you can, especially with gas in the 4 to 6. And I'm not trying to be a Tesla naysayer, but I definitely feel like the price of Teslas are at the top, like the price cap, and people are going to start to realize like this doesn't make sense for me to spend $72,000 on an electric SUV unless I mean there's people out there that just want to buy the greatest tech. Like they don't care if it's tens of thousands of dollars more. I mean, I get iPhones and stuff, but I mean, well, no, I guess I don't. But at $72,000 for a Model Y base out the door and 7% sales tax. I mean, if you're living in like New Jersey with no sales tax, and like that's sick. You're still in the 67 range. Well, let's go look. So you're out the door. You just took delivery of your Model Y long range. You just drove off the lot on your white with black interior. $72,000. Let's get into the Car Bar USA quote and let's see. 4-door sedan. We'll keep it at the long range, 500 miles. You're gonna drive for a little bit because you gotta experience it. Like the whole thing with me about buying all these Teslas and stuff is I just like experiencing cars. So you gotta experience it as well. So I would really recommend driving for thousands of miles, but you never know. Life can come at you fast. So you just gotta slow down and look at it. But 500 miles, hit the offer. 63,685. 63,685. That is a bath. Holy crap. Like the $2,000 loss on a Model 3, that's not bad because that's what? I mean, 5%. So that's still better than the average or what used to be the average. But this is a lot. 63,685 is the trade value or wholesale value. You just drove it off for so almost $10,000, but it's actually negative $8,400 right off the lot. If you had to pay 7% sales tax and you drove a base vehicle off the lot, you're losing. If you had a wholesale, I mean, let's not say if you drive it for a year, get your use out of it, drive it 5,000 miles, you drive it for work. Of course, that's an inherent value in itself. And you're getting value out of that, or if you decide to Turo it or Uber it and do all this other sort of stuff. I mean, $8,000, that's, I mean, I don't even know, what is that, 10, 11%, give or take? So let's see. Actually, that's about 11 or 12% value loss right off the bat, which is, it's not as bad as it used to be with 15% to 20%, back with when you drove cars off the lot, but it's definitely getting bad. So this is typical. And so that's, I mean, I feel like Tesla, not to say that they might adjust the price lower by tens of thousands of dollars, but they're definitely going to adjust the price because I feel like there's a lot of people out there where there's people just like this that think like, is it really worth it to pay $72,000 for a Model Y when the value, I mean, it's not, because Car Bar USA, which is going to wholesale it to another dealer, which is then the dealer is going to sell it to a customer at some point. The customers at that end for the used car market, they're saying no. $70,000 is not worth it for a used Model Y, nor is it for a new one. So the prices will come down, especially on a new and pre-owned side for Teslas. But before we get into the Model S and the Model X, let's get into some of the questions because I know Let's see, Samuel, welcome back for sure. Samuel, again, my rear wheel drive is about 5 days out, and I'm second guessing it. Yep, see, now you're seeing the data right here. But if you have a low price point, which I think you do, because I remember you were talking about it. If you have a low price point, you might be okay. Like you can do the math yourself, log into the Tesla account, see what your out the door is, or your cash price, or your monthly payments is. And if it's under 49,676, I would still take delivery. Or if it's even close, if you're like within $1,000, you're gonna get $1,000 out of it. Especially if it's your first Tesla, you get to drive it, experience it, and see what all the hype is about, because there definitely is some hype. So I would check it out. I mean, take delivery no matter what. Unless it's like tens or couple thousands more, then you don't want to put yourself in that kind of a position. Okay, yeah, nope, 53K out the door. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, if you have a cool color, then you might get more value for it. But yeah, you're right off the bat. I mean, going by this, you're right off the bat $2,500 negative. So you got to really ride the wave. You cannot buy this car and flip it. You got to buy it, drive it for at least a year before the curve starts to like kind of equal out, and then you'll be okay in a year-ish to sell. I mean, not financial advice or anything like that. Yeah, red is the tough one, because you're paying for that. You're paying for that color, and I've had a red Model 3, and so I know my first Tesla was a red Model 3, and when I went to go sell it, no one wanted it. It was kind of a very niche one, even though, it's a very rare color and there's buyers out there, but yeah, it's a tough. Jason Scott, bro, exactly, bro. All right, so let's get into the Model S now, the big cojones one, probably my favorite Tesla. Favorite Tesla that I've owned, because I haven't had the Model X yet, but I'm trying to get one because I'm watching these markets, and these markets are starting to shift or change or turn a little bit. But Model S, we're not going to do Plaid because we already know the story on Plaid. There's too many Plaids out there. I think last time we checked last week, there was 65 Plaids available for sale. If you guys don't know what this is waitingfortesla.com. It's an inventory aggregator site that's hosted by a third party that will link you directly to the tesla.com site. Oh, very interesting. So typically when we go to this, in the past, a couple weeks that we've been doing these streams, every single time we went on here, it was Plaids only. But now they have long wheel drive, this is the best value for buck. The Plaid is way overpriced. You don't need it, but they have 4 long range or just dual motor all-wheel drive Model S's available, and this is interesting because there's availability now, which shows that demand. I mean, the Model S, they raised the price like $25,000. That's absolutely insane as well. But Model S Plaid, we're not going to do a Model S. We're just going to do we're not going to do the Model S Plaid because it's too insane. We already know that's crazy depreciation in that, because there's no demand on the new side of it, because there's a bajillion out there in the United States available for sale right now. But Model S long range, $105,000. Should we add a color? What do you guys think? Should we add a color? We'll just do a cheap color. We'll do 15 black. I wish I got a black one. I really, really did, because the black one is sick. But I went with white because I was cheap, so I went with white. But because it's also free. Okay, let's go with the black one. $1,500. I really wish the value person in me says do not get the $4,500 rims. So we'll go with the 19-inch rims. I mean, the 19-inch rims, they're ugly for sure, but okay, max it out, Jason. Okay. You got me. I wish this is my build that I wish I got, but I didn't. I got the cheapest one instead, and I really wish I got white interior. It's funny. I've wanted white interior from the get-go, but I've had 3 Teslas so far, and none of them have been white, which kind of sucks. But let's go crazy. No full self-driving, because that is literally just giving money to Tesla, and you're not getting any sort of value return from that, in my opinion. But okay, interesting. A Tesla Model S base with the options that we chose, it's saying delivery date November of this year. That's a quick turnaround. That's like 2 months. Okay, so let's just go to build payment. Okay, so $113,000 build, $1,200 destination fee, order fee, of course, $250, which I feel like they should just waive the order fee when you get to the Model S and the Model X. It's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I get it on the 3 and Y, but if someone who's buying that much of a car, like some of these fees should be waived, but I mean, they got to get their money too. 114,440. 114,440. This is going to be ugly, but maybe not as ugly as this Model Y where you would lose $8,000 off the bat. Okay, so Jason just took a delivery of his Model S, his black on white interior with the Arachnid rims, $4,500 upgrade. Okay, we forgot about tax. Forgot about tax. $122,000. Oh, sorry, I'm blocking this. $122,000 for the at 7% tax. So some states pay even more than that, and some states pay even less. But $122,000. That's insane. Okay, so $122,000. You just took delivery of your Model S. You're so excited. It's probably one of the best driving Teslas next to the Model X because of the air suspension. Now we're gonna go to Car Buyer USA because maybe you heard that you could flip it really quickly, or you have to sell it because I mean I couldn't afford the payment, to be honest. Like, it was a hefty payment, but I drove it for a little bit. I got my time out of it. My experience, drove like 6,000 miles. It was the greatest car or greatest Tesla I've driven so far. But now you got to wholesale it. You got to sell it to Car Buyer USA, which is basically CarMax and Carvana. You don't want to try and sell this to a private seller because you're not going to. For some private seller to try and give you $122,000, you're basically dealing with wires or checks or cash only, because getting financing on that, banks start to quiver and it's a whole nother ball game. But selling to Car Buyer USA, wow, that I feel like that dropped a lot recently. 90,872. Holy that is depreciation. Like, that's even worse than before pre-pandemic, whatever. Because before pandemic, they used to say, what, 15 to 20% right off the lot. I don't even want to calculate this. This is, woo, $31,000 negative wrapped lot. So if you had taken delivery of that exact car that we just built, which is a beautiful black on white, of course it's a little loaded with the Arachnid rims and all that stuff, $122,000, and you're selling to Car Buyer USA, which, okay, let's say best case scenario, you cut out Car Buyer USA and you found a private seller at $95,000 or $99,000, you're still losing $20,000 right off the bat. So let's wow, 26% negative. So you got, I mean, anyone who's buying has an order on this, you definitely have to be careful. Hopefully you have an older price book or order price before all the price hikes, and you're not just going in and buying, unless I mean, people that drive Model S is not, not me, but people that typically buy that type of caliber of a car, maybe don't care as much. They just want the latest and greatest car out there. They don't care. They just want, the nice steering wheel and all that stuff. But that's a bath right there. $122,000, selling it to Car Buyer for $90,000. You're losing $31,000 at a 26% depreciation. Now I'm super scared on what the Model X is going to be. I think the Model X is going to be really bad. All right, Jason, how are we building this? Model X. We can't do Plaid because we already know Plaid's going to be a ton. It's even worse loss. So Model X long range, $121,000 base, which is, at one point, this was a $90,000 Model X refresh. And I absolutely wish I put my name in it, but I didn't do it. All right, 90. We got to go base on this one because I don't want to take another bath. $121,000 white with 20-inch rims, which still look really good. I mean, I'm surprised more people. I mean, I know a lot of people get the 20-inch instead of the 22s because, I mean, who's going to stomach and pay $5,500 for a wheel that doesn't really look that much difference? Like I mean, that's just money to blow. What's up, Alejandro? All right, so 20-inch rims, free rims. We're gonna go base because we cannot afford it. Black interior, 5-seater, the no full self-driving, no enhanced autopilot, none of that stuff. Autopilot is good enough. Okay, so this one still has a really far pushed out time frame, because right now it still says July of next year. But let's fact check that a little bit. Let's go to Waiting for Tesla, which tracks the inventory, of course. Let's go Model X. See if there's any cars. No? Loading? Ooh. Okay, so 10 Model X Plaids out there. No, any long range? No long range. But I'm going to be watching this like a hawk, because I want to see if there's people backing out on long ranges in the United States, and if there's some going to be available for sale, because that's going to be a good indicator on, maybe a slight indicator on the availability of Model X. But, okay, you're taking delivery of next year, which next year might be a whole different ballgame, because that's the 2023 model year. We'll see how the conditions are next spring and summer. I mean, there's always a seasonality with car sales, just like real estate. People don't buy cars around this time, or they buy less. And then during the summer, everyone gets summer fever, and they just want to have the hottest, newest, greatest thing. And that's just how it is. All right, so continued payment. Okay, a base cheap Model X, the one I wish I got. $121,000, $1,200 fee, or destination fee, and then a $250 order fee. $122,440. $122,440. This seems like a steal, actually. Holy crap! Now, well, okay, because we loaded up the Model S. I was wondering why is the Model S and the X only like a $8,000 difference? Okay, so maybe it's not a steal, because we did load up that Model S with the nice rims for Jason and all that stuff, but. $122,000. Now let's do the tax, because you got to pay the tax and the registration, but we're just doing tax. $131,000 for a car. You can get almost 3 Model 3s and almost 2 Model Ys for one base Model X. Absolutely insane. Okay, so anyone take a guess on what car buyer is gonna offer on this? It definitely starts with a 1. I'd be shocked if it doesn't start with a 1. But I mean, the Model X market is also changing. So just took delivery of your Model X, your white on black, which is a great build, I think, especially because it comes with the black rims. You drove it for 500 miles. You're in California, which is the hottest EV state, because we banned gas cars, and we gotta figure that out. But getting our offer now, we drove it. We decided we want to see if we can flip it, or we have to drive for a little bit, or something happens. You gotta just sell it sometimes. I think it's gonna start with a 1. 50-50 chance, maybe a 9. If it starts with a 9, then that's gonna be crazy. But you never know. I mean, there's a lot of high risk that these people have to. I mean, car buyer has to take your car and then sell it really quickly, because the auctions are definitely starting to falter just a little bit. All right. Okay, started with a 1. 103,512. This has dropped I think 15 grand, or at least 10 grand in the past couple weeks. So it's quickly turning. But 103,512. So that's bad. I was gonna say that's not bad, but that's bad. That's worse than the Model S, of course. No, it's actually interesting. It's not worse than the Model X. Not worse than the Model S. Okay, so $27,000 loss, driving it off the lot. That's not bad, because it's okay, so 20%. So this is back to pre-pandemic levels. When you reach the drive off the lot, you lose 15 to 20%. This is right in line, 15 to 20%. So it looks like really the winner. For some reason I didn't do the Model 3 a loss calculator, but the Model 3 is the winner here. So we should all go buy Model 3s, because you're not going to lose. You're going to lose them least in comparison to all the other models. So I kind of want to just, do this as a PSA, everyone, because there's been a lot of, sentiment where you could buy a Tesla and flip it and, don't worry about it. But that is not the sentiment anymore, especially if you're paying current market values. If you have an old price book or older order from back, 6 months to 12 months ago, and you got any of those good prices, then you are perfectly fine. Just do the math. Make sure your out the door is lower than Car Buyer USA. If you're on the fence, just put it in a Car Buyer USA. It gives you a quick number, no questions asked, none of your information on there. So you can just put it in there and see what happens and see if you're in the money. Even if you're like $1,000 negative, like I would still take delivery because you still be able to drive it 6 months and not lose too much money, and you'll be fine. All right, Alejandro, did you check your delivery your car yet? There are too many buyers buying Tesla for resale. People want straight from the manufacturers. Yeah, exactly. I think. Well, the good thing is with these high prices like this, there's gonna be less flipping, especially with the high interest rates as well. I mean, because a $51,000 car, that's $1,000. Or no, it's like an $800 to $900 a month payment. Actually, let's do that. Let's see. I want to see and then if you think about it, like people are paying these cars. So auto loan calculator, also another site that I use a lot. So 52,000, 72 months. What's the average interest rate right now? Should we just leave it at 4.5? I know. For people that watch the channel, there is a 2.99% rate, so hopefully you guys are taking advantage of that. I know a couple of you viewers did that pretty recently to get it. And the video is called "Do This Now Before Buying Your Tesla," but it's people have gotten approved. It exists, 2.99, 72 months. So let's just go through 4% then. Let's go with like a good average. Down payment, I mean, the book says you should put the taxes and fees down, but I like running zero because I like leverage, but let's just put $2,000 down. I would say the average person puts $2,000 down, right? I don't know. No sales tax because we already did that in the last calculation. We'll put zero for registration fees as well because we're trying to do like an average across the United States. Monthly payment, $782. Okay, so let's add that. I mean, there was like an article that was just posted out recently that the average car payment is like $650. So 782 is not bad, especially because you don't have to pay for gas, and especially if you're in California, where like I've been to the gas pump like 3 times in the past week, but I'm also driving like a gas guzzler right now. But so there's plenty of people that drive a lot, spend a lot of gas, and so that's going to be their monthly payment. But that's a $782 monthly payment. I feel like that's still doable. I think. I mean, with insurance and no gas, you're right under like maybe $958 a month, which is still a lot. So I don't know like what Dave Ramsey says like you should be making a month to even pay something like that. But if you're using it for work, you have a really strict schedule, or you're going to Turo it or Uber it, then that makes a lot of different sense. So let's go back here. Jason's got Model 3 here. Yep, great car. The Alejandro, the real owners to keep it for fam and personal use. Yeah. There's not too many of those because people, I mean, we're all human, right? Like if we paid this and we can get it for this, like, opportunity costs. Matthew, my Model Y delivery was supposed to be February 23. It's now December 2022. Yep. See, Tesla's pushing it. I don't know what you're going to do, especially Model Y. That's the car that it could qualify for the tax rate. It could not. So, and a lot of people are in that boat where they're going to try and push it to next year to try and, fingers crossed to get that tax rate. So it's going to be super interesting. Senior Blue, I got 3.99 for 84 months. Ooh, let's put that on the calculator. 84 months. I like it. Okay, so 4%. 683. That I feel like is a lot more doable. I mean, there's people that hate 84 months. There's people that love 84 months. But if you can let it ride and use that money elsewhere, then why not? Why not, right? All right, so 683. Okay, so that's not crazy. I think. I don't know. I don't know according to the whatever car payment average that this article had said, 683 is right in line with average. So if everybody else is paying 683 for a Honda Accord, if they have to then put $150 a month gas into it, and you're not, then that pencils. I think that pencils. All right, so let's go to the Model Y. Model Y, ours was a pretty base one as well, 72,160. I don't think a lot of people can't get 84 months. I don't think so. We'll keep it back to 72. $2,000 down payment. 1097 and some change for a Model Y. That doesn't make it. I don't know. Does that make sense to you guys? I mean, it might make sense if you're paying like $300 to $400 a month in gas, which if you're going from like, a super gas guzzling car, like I'm just going to throw it out there, like a Toyota 4Runner, which gets like 17 miles per gallon, which is a great car, but the gas mileage just kind of sucks. So you're probably spending like $300 to $400 a month in gas. So then you switch to a Model Y that you figured out a solar home charging setup and all that stuff. So maybe that pencils, but that's expensive. And I mean, I don't know if I would want it. I don't think I could stomach that type of money for. Let's switch it to 84 months. Okay, so $959 at 84 months, a little bit better, but still, that's a lot of money for a Model Y base long range. We didn't even go performance or anything like that. We didn't even pick any options. We went base with black interior at $959 a month. So, and if you bought this car and then financed it and then drove for a month, you're going to lose $8,000 right off the bat in 11% of the vehicle. So you got to be careful with the flipping and all that stuff, in my opinion now. But just make sure your numbers are good and all that stuff. Matthew, Model Y long range 7-seat. Okay, so that's a good move because the 7-seat is going to be rare. So you're going to hold value. Good APRs, Sandy. Yep, that's definitely a good APR. Matthew, $76K after tax. Should I wait till 2023? I want to do Uber Black with it. Does the Model Y qualify for Uber Black? I guess with the 7-seater. I mean, that's a good plan. I like that plan. You could even Turo it as well, make some money while on your off days or something. But $76K. So you're right under the. No, you're completely fine because the SUV for the new tax credit is $80,000. So your sales price is probably like $70,000, and then $70K after tax. I would wait till 2023. I would tell Tesla you're out of town or across the country or something, or out of the country, to try and see if the Model Y qualifies for some sort of tax credit. So I would wait, but I feel like Tesla's not going to want to let you wait or stall. They're going to want their deliveries this year. They're going to want it in December to end out the quarter because they got sales to hit. Alejandro, should I go back to my classic dream cars, Dodge Viper? That's actually my classic dream car as well, Dodge Viper. When I was like growing up, I loved this car, especially the older one, not the new one, but like this version. I had a toy model one, the blue one, and I would just like roll it around in my room or something, or I kept it on like this, whatever, because cool car. I don't even know why I liked it. I think it was like a TV show or something that I saw like super young, and so I just, this one right here. Blue Dodge Viper, sick car. But I don't even know what the maintenance on them or anything like that. Like it's crazy. Sanya Blue, yeah, you can always pay more towards principal. Yeah, that makes sense. Like if you got extra money, just throw it towards principal and not pay any insurance. That definitely still makes sense. Dodge Viper is still my favorite car. So yeah, I feel like used car markets, especially those like crazy exotics, have gone like crazy in value, but I bet those are starting to come down as well. So I saw something on Twitter of like the car dealership guy, like one used car like exotic dealerships giving like $10,000 spiffs to people that can sell, their salespeople that can sell cars because they're hungry for sales. Yes, Andy, you can good bar. Your APR is going higher. You locked in a good price. Yeah, that's a good value. I would just roll with it. Yeah, as soon as I heard, I was sign me up. Exactly. Driving a 05 Rendezvous is now 200 plus. Yeah, so it's going to make sense for some people it's going to make sense for you because you're already spending about a bunch of money in gas. And if gas keeps going up and up and up, then that's just going to keep going up and up and up. And then of course, maintenance on a car, especially gas cars or ICE cars, like that's oil changes, that's transmission fluids, that's alternators and all that stuff. Like it's going to add up at some point. Whereas Model Y, maintenance, what? Maybe very little. Duplicity 1337. Is this new price including destination fee and order fee? Yep. This is the price we built. To kind of give you a recap, we built a bunch of vehicles out. With most of these are base. Only the Model S we went crazy and loaded it up like crazy. But this is the new price, current price, and then this is out the door with the destination fee, the order fee, and then just using 7% sales tax. We didn't really include any like registration fees or DMV fees because that can really vary. And also some states are lower than 7% and some states are higher. So we kind of went with like an average. And so in this column, you can see what a hypothetical out the door would be. give or take. And then this is if we were to dump it or wholesale it or sell it to Car Buyer USA, which is probably one of the higher value ones next to like CarMax and stuff like that at the moment, how much you would lose or actually just lose. I was going to say profit, but there's really no profit at this point. So you just got to be careful. There's not the days of flipping and buying a Tesla and driving it and then selling it, like that notion, all that stuff is basically gone. So you got to be careful with all that. All right, so Model S. I mean, once you get into the Model S, these payments are absolutely insane. So I don't even this is going to be $2,000 a month. I'm just going to use $122,000. 1640. Okay, so that might make sense to some. Oh, sorry, that was 84 months. Holy crap. All right. 1640. I mean, when my Model S was 1300 or 1360, and that barely made sense for me. It only made sense for me for 6 months and 6,000 miles, and I just had to get rid of it because I didn't want to get stuck in it, to be honest. And so that didn't make sense long term. Model X at $131,000 out the door. This is kind of a different animal because of the tax deduction or the write-off for business owners. So they are playing in a different ballgame because then their business can then deduct from their taxes. So a monthly payment at $1,763 isn't really a true monthly payment because they're kind of saving on what they have to pay in taxes. But either way, there's not everybody's in that, a business holder like that. So some just want to, buy and flex and drive the Model X. I mean, I would too if I could. But $1,763, I mean, that's a lot of gas you need to be saving to be able to stomach that, or you're just making good money. I mean, you can't knock them, can't knock the player or the game or something like that. Sandy Blue, I feel like gas is going to go down, but go down to about $3.25, and trucks will go down in price while your electric company will skyrocket. Probably electric, like utility bill. Hopefully not, but why wouldn't the utility companies make more? Yeah, I think gas is going to come down a little bit, and I thought it was for a good point, but then it kind of looks like it bounced back up. So it for a second it looked like the gas was going to go down, and this whole EV thing wouldn't make any sense. But now since it's trickling back up, maybe it does make sense long term because gas will just keep going up in the long run. Tuan Day, I wonder if the Model 3 long range will come back to under 55 grand. Yes, I think the long range, what they're doing right now, they removed it because there's already so much demand anyways, and they don't want any more orders. And they're trying to figure out how can we make this car qualify for the tax credit. So they don't want to lock in any sort of pricing before that. They're just going to, I think they're going to announce it on January 1st of next year. They're going to announce the new tax credit, which cars qualify, because it's broken down into two parts, not the full 7,500. It's 3,750 and 3,750 with two different parts. And then they're going to basically say, this car qualifies, and this is our new price. So here is our new price. I think they're going to do with the Model 3 long range. The Model Y, though, I have a suspicion they're going to keep it the same price. Maybe adjust some of these prices down $1,000 or $2,000, maybe. But then what I really think they're going to do is they're going to introduce a new Model Y, which is the Model Y standard range, which is already launched in Europe. I think like a couple weeks ago, which we made a video on that, it was like 50,000 euros. They're going to launch a Model Y standard range, is my conspiracy hypothesis. They're going to launch a Model Y standard range for $50,000. Or actually, no. Now that I'm looking at this, let's say they bump this down to 67, this down to 62. They're going to launch it for like 53. And then that one's going to qualify for the tax credit. Actually, no. Now that I think about it, they're going to launch it for $57,990. And it's going to qualify for the 7,500. No, it's going to qualify for the 3,750, maybe the $7,500 tax credit, which would bring it down to 50. That's what my speculation I think is they're going to do with the Model Y coming on January 1st, or maybe even later. But they're not going to do anything soon because they don't want to mess with the sales of the year end of 2022 because stock price. Matthew, thank you so much. Yeah, you can do Uber Black, but not Uber Black XL. You can do Lyft XL. Do you think it's smarter to buy it cash with the new interest rate? Long range Model YS? No. I do not think you should buy it cash. There is a lower interest rate right now. It's a 2.99% for 72 months. It's through a credit union. If you go to my channel, there's a video called Do This Now. It's called Do This Now Before You Buy a Tesla. I posted like a month ago. Watch that video. It tells you how to get the low rate, where to go, and all the steps and all that stuff. I had 2 viewers that scheduled calls with me, coaching calls. They were able to get approved at the 2.99%. They just jumped to a couple of different steps that the credit union wanted them to do, and they're smooth sailing on that. Used market is still high, right? That's a good question. This is Car Gurus, which is tracking the used car prices. It looks like it's coming down just a little bit. If you look at just the Model Y, it's down 2% in the past 9 days, but that's of course coming down from highly elevated prices. So the used car market is coming down just a little bit, but let's just take a look, because in the past, when we were looking at the Model Y, I think the cheapest one in the country for 2022 was like 65, I want to say. But let's see. What's the cheapest 2022 Tesla Model Y? Ooh, in the country, 64. So it's coming down just a little bit. So that just shows you right there. If you bought a brand new one, you're paying $72,000, and people are selling them for $65,000. So you're losing right off the bat on that one. So you just gotta be careful. The days of flipping are kind of over. RCD, do you currently have a Tesla on order? No, I had 2, and then someone at Tesla decided they didn't like me because of some stuff I might have was a part of, and now they're gone. I'm probably going to stream about it tomorrow to give you the full explanation on what happened, or what I think happened, and the timeline and everything. And also I'm going to give you the explanation on what I did, or what I did right after, how I got the order feedback. So some of you might want to know how that happened, and what orders I placed, and if I'm going to buy a Tesla, which I might. I think I'm going to wait till December, what my strategy is, what I'm going to be looking for, and if I'm going to get into it, which one I'm going to get into. And it's not a Model X. I wish it was, but it's not. But yeah, I do not have a Tesla on order. Well, actually, no, I don't want to say it out loud, because no, that person might come after me more. We'll hold off on ordering Model 3 long range until that. Yeah, I would say hold off, because there's another thing too. Like, what if like Tesla figures it out how to put the production and the battery minerals here, or whatever, or say they are, and the Model 3 rear-wheel drive standard range also gets the tax credit. If it got the full $7,500 tax credit, that would bring the full Model 3 rear-wheel drive to under $40K, like a $39,990 or whatever, $39,490, which is, if you can get a Model 3 for under $40K and it starts with a 3, that would be absolutely insane in my opinion. Matthew, do you think if we will see better battery long range in 2023? Yep, there's definitely going to be better batteries with the 46, possibly 4680s, but I haven't really heard too much on the 4680s. What's going on with that? Like, I feel like we were like right on the cusp of it coming out for the Model Y, from the Austin plane and all that stuff, and then something happened, and then now there's no more. But definitely super crazy. But back to the topic of the video. You're going to lose. I mean, right now, just like in the past where you would buy a car and lose money right when you drove it off the lot, if you buy a brand new Tesla at current prices, you will lose money right off the lot, because the market has definitely turned super quickly. And so now let's just see, are there any brand new Model Ys available to buy right now? This one's still here. Oh, this is different. This is okay. The last one we saw the other day was a Model Y Performance in Chicago or Illinois. It had like a $300 discount, but this one's a Model Y Performance, brand new one, on Black 2022, but it's in Hawaii, which is kind of cool. So I mean, that's a different story. Like, you're not going to get cars, I feel like, not as often. So if one pops up, just take it if you need a car. But $73,000 for a Model Y Performance. That's, I mean, I don't even know. What is that? Like 80K out the door? 85K out the door? If you can pay that, more power to you. I wish I could. I mean, if I had to get into another one, I think I would get into another Model Y. I mean, it's definitely, especially if the Model Y came with air suspension, which is a rumor. But if that comes out, that's gonna be sick. Yeah, 2 miles on that one. It's brand new. It like just got off the boat and they just put it right there. And then okay, come buy it. Let's see if there's any Model 3 inventory out there. I don't think there's gonna be Model 3. There's of course way more buys in there. And if there was, I'd be, oh, okay, so this is the one. Sorry, so I was confused. I thought it was a Model Y performance demo, but this is an Illinois one. I keep seeing $300 discount. This is really interesting how this has still been here for like 3 days now. Can you actually buy it? Maybe it's a glitch. Huh. Okay, 1,500 miles, $300 discount. Maybe that's why. I think to be fair, like this needs to be like, because you got to remember tires with 1,500 miles, like the tires are definitely like a third of its life gone, especially if it's a test drive vehicle. So it needs to be like $1,000 discount for me to even like consider it with 1,500 miles. All right, so let's the last thing that's really cool with waiting for Tesla is you can see this person tracks a lot of data with everything, and so they even track like how many vehicles get dropped every single day. And let's see if there's been a spike. I mean, now that we're heading to like the couple weeks within the last month of this quarter, which is September, we should see more vehicles popping up, but looks like it spiked up a little bit a couple days ago, but then now today was kind of calm. 5 Model X's popped up and one Model Y. Ooh, one nice data point. Let's take a look. Lots of 2019s and 20s and Model 3 inventory right now. So because I've been reading and hearing that, or I've been seeing that there's a lot of used car dealers that are stuck with a lot of inventory because the market's changing. No one wants to buy these. And I was wondering if Model or Tesla was having the same issue as well, because they don't allow, of course they take in trade-ins, but they also don't allow leased returns to be sold elsewhere. Like you must return this car to Tesla. And so they might be trying to buy a lot of these, or a lot of lease turns came in. And that actually makes sense. In 2019, probably got delivered in early 2019 or even 2018, which is now coming back. Or 2019 will be coming back in 2022. So yeah, these are all lease returns. So there might be some interesting pushes from Tesla to clear some of this inventory out, because this is a lot. Holy crap. I don't think I would do another. The build quality has definitely improved throughout the years. My first Tesla was a 2019 Model 3 Stealth, which if you're an OG Tesla, you would know exactly what a Stealth is. But Stealth is basically a performance Model 3 without the performance goodies. So like no rims, no spoiler, no suspension, and no aluminum pedals and stuff like that. But you got a $6,000 price difference. So I thought it was worth it. But after the 2019 Model 3, which I actually kept for like 18 months, and I drove like 20,000 miles on it, I moved into a Model Y Performance. And going from the 2019 to the 2021 Model Y Performance, there was a huge jump in build quality and ride quality and all that stuff. So I probably would not get a 2019 Model 3, especially not a 2018. Maybe a 2021 again. Definitely try and get like a 2020 and 22. But we're also at the cusp where 2023s are going to come off the line. All these are going to drop in value. So this definitely... I would be careful with some of these, because the older the Tesla is, the more like the build quality isn't as good. So definitely would be careful. Okay, so jumping into Model Ys, is there a lot of them? Wow. Okay. Yeah, good amount. 2021s. Holy crap. Why are they? This is insane. So, why would anybody, $80,000. You can just buy a brand new one and take delivery next month. Like, why would you buy a 2-year-old car basically at this point when you can go to Tesla.com, go to we just saw one earlier. Well, I guess that one was Hawaii, so technically no. You go to Tesla.com, you do a Model Y Performance, you could do base, no rims. The rims come with it, and you're basically $70,000 when this one, I mean, this does have the full self-driving, so that's why. So you could take off the, yeah, sorry, Alejandro, yeah, you got me for a second. I was like thinking like that doesn't make sense, but then yeah, you're right. So okay, so then $65,000, but still, would you pay $65,000 when you can pay $70,000 for a absolutely brand new one with no miles on it, which according to this website, which is Tesla, you're gonna get it this month. Holy crap, they're even trying to push that to October. It says, if you want a Tesla, you're going to get this month. I want to see, like, what is the lease on this? Eesh. Change that to $0,000 due at starting. $1,000 a month before, but they're not actually looping any of the taxes. So this is really like a $1,200 a month lease payment. Oh, man. That's nuts. That's nuts. That is nuts. I did read somewhere where someone got like a 3% or 3.99% through Tesla. I wasn't sure. I tried to ask them like when do they buy it, but because yeah, I haven't heard what low rate Tesla has been giving these days. But yeah, thanks for watching this video and stream where we kind of jump through. If you bought a Tesla today, right off the lot, are you going to make money or are you going to lose money? Of course, historically in the past, you would lose money. And so now we're back at that point, especially if you're paying these high prices. But if you're someone that has a lower price book with an older order, then maybe you'll make some money or you'll be able to drive for free. So of course, a different ball game. But if you're still confused on how to buy a Tesla or how to get a good deal, I do have a coaching call down below in the description. You can schedule a call with me. It's about 15 minutes. And of course, you'll get after that, throughout that, you can ask any questions on buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And you'll also get a link to my buying resource guide that has all the links to all the resources that I use for everything to how to get the best deal on that. And if you want to support the channel differently, I do have a buy a coffee link down below in the description. You can support my Tesla drives, or I don't drive a Tesla anymore, but I used to. You can support my drives. I do get a iced coffee, and it starts as little as $5, and I definitely appreciate it. But being here, guys, watching and enjoying and commenting on the stream, it really means a lot. And of course, hitting the like button, it helps. But we'll go through one more question. Matthew, do you need to order your Tesla in 2020 to get the new update for the battery? If they update it, or is it supposed to be updated at the time when delivery home country makes sense? So the new battery that everybody keeps speculating about is the 4680s that exists, but it hasn't really started delivery, I don't think. And so really it's just time, it's just luck. Like if you can order at any point, but Tesla likes to continuously improve and make their vehicles better, whether it's new headlights, taillights, new screens, new chips in the cars, new hardware, or even new batteries. So they don't necessarily say, hey guys, but if you order by this date, you'll get a new battery. It's just going to happen. And some people will be lucky, some people won't. And it's really just luck. Like, depending on how long you have to wait, you're just going to get a better and later and newer model car, which could have better headlights. It could have, there's no standardization with Tesla, which could be frustrating to some, because I'd be super pissed if I took delivery of a Model Y today and then tomorrow every Model Y got 4680s, but it's just how Tesla rolls, and they're just continuously making their cars better. But it's kind of cool, right? Like it's kind of cool in the sense that you're always going to want that next car, just like the next iPhone. Which can be cool and can be not cool, but it keeps it fresh. You're going to get new features if you get a newer Tesla at the end of it. But hopefully that answers your question. That was kind of a long way of me answering it, but it's just continuously improving. There's always a better Tesla out there, and you could keep waiting, but you're never going to get the best Tesla because there's just always going to be something better. Like for instance, my Model S, which I took delivery of, luckily I timed it right. I got the new headlights and new taillights, but then like a couple weeks later, they improved it again, and those Model S's had the swivel screen on it. And I was like, oh, shoot, shucks, I can't get that. But, it is what it is. It happens, and you move on and you live on. Just be happy that you can buy a Tesla, you can drive a Tesla in good health. And, there's other things that we can all worry about, or other things that people worry about. But thanks for watching this stream. I'll leave this up on the screen. of course, definitely thank you for watching. Thank you for joining in and chatting and commenting and all that. But I'll leave this on the screen for a quick second. If anyone wants to like screenshot it really quick, well, of course, I guess you can like go back to the video. But the TLDR of today's video is you will lose some money if you pay today's prices, especially with the taxes and everything. These are crazy monthly payments. If you can afford it, like that's, you know, hopefully you're spending a lot of gas and it makes a lot of sense, and in pencils it makes sense for your wallet, but you will lose money as low as 4% on a Model 3, as high as 25%, even probably higher if they have a built out Model X, because this one was a base one, but pretty much 5 to 25% for sure. But yeah, thanks for watching the stream, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit the like if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm going to talk about how I got banned from Tesla. So watch out for that video, and we'll talk about what happened, what I'm doing about it, and how we're going to figure this out, and how I'm going to figure out, and what cars I might be driving next. But yeah, thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.